So we always talk about hip-hop from the point of view of the year 2000 and above.
In the 80s, some of us got into hip-hop heavily.
Vector and MI's era and their emergence allowed us get to the point where you could play the songs in the club, people could dance.
There's this guy that they say, oh yeah, he's freestyling.
I was like, okay, let's make rap happen.
The hip-hop beef between rapper MI and Vector.
See them, they wanna beef me. Now that they see BET on my CV.
Beef is actually an element of hip-hop. It's okay for you to come and say, I'm the dopest rapper I've ever been. You understand? And the next man is not gonna take lightly to that. He's gonna come and say, guy, I'm standing here and you're saying that. You know, so he's gonna come at you.
M had beef with Iceberg Slim. Vector had beef with Reminisce.
That's normal, but it keeps everybody, it makes everybody up their game.
The first time that I sensed any sense of maybe tension was Oleku.
He did a remix to Ice Prince's Oleku. So he killed that remix. So everybody was like, okay. So then Emma was like very upset, like, okay, this guy.
My opinion is that Vector had a clear history of speaking up about me, taking shots, taking little jibes at me. I can't imagine that I'd gone somewhere and had directly said something to the effect of what he said with the short man comment.
I don't understand, is he not a short man? Why are we making it sound like he's not a short man?
The relationship between Vector and MI was very, very gray.
My impression of Vector, honestly, and I'll answer in two ways. Supremely talented, and gifted across the board. So not everybody has like the complete package, but I believe Vector has the complete package.
Everything I think of him is not exclusive to him. I don't want to say evasive. I must have said cunning at one of the tweets. That's what I felt. But then I know that now if I try to like sit down and make proper sense of it, because you're not trying to ruin his image or anything, what's that? I'm looking for a word for somebody who acts like it is what it is, but it really isn't.
That's how most people I know see MI. No, he can argue it, but take a survey. I'm sure you come back with that. There were some systematic things he was doing over time that he was poking. He was poking at the King Kong. Because he won the Headies, we won 2 awards that year. And he kind of tried to discount it and said something like, who are the people that are picking the winners of the Headies award that they need to be checked or reconsidered?
I know what he's talking about. So I did Illegal Music 3. So this is my mind frame. This hip hop list that you guys make at the end of the year that gets a lot of clout, I don't really like it. I speak about a few other things, and then I speak about the Headies Awards. And what I say is that in the lyrics, I said, I'm not saying that I deserve it. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because I actually agree with everybody that's won the award. But the criteria to win doesn't favor the men spitting true hard-ish. That's word and fact.
Throughout my era managing Vector, there were instances where we've crossed paths with MI. We wanted him to be on songs.
We were trying to make King Kong, and I wanted to make a remix. The idea of the remix I had in mind was do a King Kong remix with every individual rapper with a new verse for every remix.
MI, Olamide were the immediate people and Fino were the immediate people that we wanted on the song. So we reached out to them. Obviously, they agreed. We sent them the track, but for some reason, MI never, responded back to us. Vector took it personal.
But in my head, I'm like, what? So if you're not going to do this, just say you won't do it, right? I have plans and I have time that I've tied to events. We can't drag this.
I've not known MI for like a long period of time, but he picks his collaborations. He doesn't just collaborate with anybody.
You ask him, do you feel like working with anybody? He says he's open to it. He will work with everybody. But at the same time, this is us, from our camp. I don't know anybody else's camp that has been reaching out to you and telling you, come and work with us, and you haven't done anything with us.
I go to meet Osage and his team. Loose Cannon actually made that happen. And we're having this conversation. So the conversation has been heated up until this point. We're going, and he asked me, I can't remember what the question was that he asked me, and I was like, yo, I'm the rapper that wants to work with everyone. And I paused because I know I haven't worked with Vector.
MI's response on the Loose Talk podcast about doing a feature with Vector, I feel in the moment he said that, he was really being honest with that. They've had maybe their energy has always been off. I don't know, maybe from the first meeting to whatever, and that just never happened.
So when he said that, I just called him out straight. I'm like, guy, the least you can do is be honest now. Like, don't say, I don't know why we haven't worked, and I'm the guy that wants to work with everybody. He leaves me as the guy who is difficult. And I didn't even go back and say, do rap or one thing. I just, guy, this interview straight, see this matter what you do, I know like you can't speak about, even though you're not speaking about me, you know your reference about me would maybe mislead people. And he did an open letter.
Dear Vector, as I conversed with the Pulse team, I commented on how I've always wanted to rap with everyone. I do not quite understand your intention in the video you posted or your comment following. However, let me address the underlying supposition that in some way I've avoided doing this song with you. You and I first rapped across from each other 2007, WAPI. And since that time, my respect for your talents has remained the same. There's no explanation, not even the 2 song ideas exchanged between you and I. That'll probably explain why this hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened, which again is the statement I made. Maybe you interpret that to mean I'm suggesting you have avoided it. I'm not. Just stating that it hasn't happened. We've been on songs together, but I've never created a song together. Any perceived slight is regretted on my part, as no ill will was intentioned. Going forward, however, I would suggest we have the rest of this conversation offline.
I don't see the value of the letter or things I said. If you want things to happen, let's make the record, right? You don't have to write a letter saying that you want to do something that, guess what, you still haven't done.
Honestly, I remember when I wrote the letter, I was pissed off about it. Interview was out, nobody said anything. There was no social media. Nobody was saying, Vector, like, you could have just sent me a message.
I should be close to retirement.
So when I heard MI's you rappers should fix up your lives, to be honest, I had mixed feelings, because on one side, it was as if MI knows that rappers have to work twice as hard in this business to get anywhere.
I didn't feel like the record was directed to me because I was really working at that time. So maybe the other guys that he was directing the record to tell you how they felt, but it was definitely not for me.
I went into the studio and recorded the song, and then I heard it. In fact, in my response, I had to up my game. Okay, I'm talking to somebody I've respected for the better part of my adult life, so I have to come correct.
So no matter what you want to say about rappers and diss them is fine. When you now say, you Nigerian rappers, South African rappers are killing you, wait a minute.
Who started the beef? Let me see. I think the best people to ask that question will be MI and Vector themselves.
My impression, this is your first single, Kilo Day, What the Hell Do You Want From Me? Asking if I could kill MI, why should I? He's a cool kid. So what does that mean? Does that mean you could kill MI, but he's cool?
Asking if I could kill MI, why would I? He's a cool kid.
Were we not children then? And all of us, we refer to ourselves as new kids on the block. That was but that's me just being honest. Not honest because I thought he was a kid. I was a kid.
Emma's been the one prepping this thing before the whole shot started. So the shot started from the first cypher that he had.
My phone just started to buzz. They've killed Hennessy in cypher, huh? I remember reaching out to Hennessy. I was like, all right, so in the hip hop world, I wouldn't take this. And Hennessy was like, no, we're here doing artistry. We're about the art of blending. Let's just blend and continue what we're doing. And that's it, part 2. So let's give them the Purge.
I instigated, I was like, you know what, let's purge this whole thing. when you purge, everything comes out. So like, is let's go. Let's stop hiding behind. Let's not take subtle jabs or shots or anything. So I think Paper and Vader being brought to the situation. I think everybody had their own parts. But for Vader, it was very personal.
My verse on the Purge was basically a response to, like, there's a backstory. There was this period where Black Bones made a claim that he was the best rapper in Africa, right? And I was not having it.
When I heard the Purge, I was like, okay, cool. Like, it was all right, you know. I think they had 2 other people on it. And somehow, which cannot be revealed, I was able to secure, some may say, a copy of it before time.
I listened to that song once all my life. At least now, what excited me about it is now we understand that there's a problem. You are saying what you feel with your chest. As far as MI's response, initially I was totally against it and I voiced my opinion. Like, I don't think this is worth the time.
And so the Viper wants to war with me. My OG called and said.
So we're working on the EP, and then I walk into the studio for one session we're having on a particular day, and then he's playing this record, which ended up being the Viper. So being an MI fan, my first instinct was, Omo, he's about to obliterate this guy. Omo, yeah, nice. But then I was like, this really has to be properly delivered. If not, like, the message like can be lost.
The Viper was interesting. I listened to it. It was so long though, and that was the annoying thing about it. I felt like it was okay, Sha. I felt it was decent, but then at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, it wasn't that memorable. I know what was coming after that, you know. We had one in the massive chamber.
See, I don't know about you, but I'm the only #1 from the 2, 3, 4. I like it, Joe. I'm Sean Cook.
Judas the Rat, I just didn't like the name. You know how somebody says something that you're like, rat. You see, because I look at myself like a lion. Do you understand? Immediately after that, I put out Judah EP, I was like, the lion of the tribe of Judah. And what I mean by that is that in hip hop, rat is, the connotation is like snitch, it's like, you know, apart from that, the content, like, you know, it wasn't really about me. It was like, to me, it was like, why didn't you, if I were to label Judas the Rat, the content is like, why aren't you a charity organization?
MI is one of the greatest Nigerian rappers of all time. He was not going to record another diss song, especially after he lost the beef.
The rapper in me responded immediately. So I heard Judas the Rat as I got on the plane to go to Jos. When I arrived in Jos, I sat in my studio. So I took the song and I recorded a response to it. And my thinking was that I would just say, there, fixed it. You know how people do that, there, fixed it. And I would respond to all the things he'd said. And when I was done, my brother Jeremiah Gang said, promise me. Like, promise me you never put it out. He was there. But I also knew before then that I wouldn't, you know, I wasn't gonna put it out anymore.
I did try to get MI on Vector. After he dropped Viper and the Rat, after the last battle, I did. I see Abuchi at the airport. Abuchi literally, obviously, is like, oh, how long are we going to continue this beef? Your guy is not playing. I'm like, yeah, but your own guy is not playing too, you know. Abuchi is MI's manager, by the way. So I said to him, I said, okay, you know what? I would like to sit with MI. Let's have a conversation. I needed him and Vector to sit down, right? I was going to push for the conversation and the truth. He was extremely reluctant. I said to him, okay, you know what? Let me give you some time. Think about it. So Abuchi reaches back to me. I said, okay, you know what? They are open to this sit down. I get on the phone with Vector at 4 p.m. I speak to Vector for 2 hours. Vector agrees to have the sit down. I get home at 6:30. And for some miraculous reason, MI had DM'd Vector.
So I would troll him, I would send him messages. Yo. And there are few things Vector did that impressed me in this thing. One of the things he did was that he never responded. Just read, I would be, yeah! Yes! I love it!
Possibility of a collaboration happening with MI and Vector.
Come to think of it, it might be something that's worth looking forward to be honest. If to have both of them on the track.
Do I want one? Fuck no. I think I don't care for that record.
And would you be willing to sit with him in the studio together?